So, Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3, where you think things couldn't get even worse for Erik ten Hag's Manchester United this evening on match day 3 of the 24-25 Premier League season. When you think things couldn't get worse, things have now turned into a complete and utter nightmare for Manchester United with this embarrassing, pathetic, and quite frankly shocking performance at home to Liverpool this evening at Old Trafford, where it's 3 points from 9. We are in exactly the same position as we were in last season. And Erik ten Hag, for me, has lost the fans. He's lost the supporters. And quite clearly today, after 3 games of the new season, Erik ten Hag has clearly lost his mind. He's lost all complete tactical awareness of how to change things up in an important game where 3 points was desperately needed. Erik ten Hag is going to be fighting to keep his job as Manchester United manager by Christmas with the way things are going at Manchester United Football Club, where we didn't expect to get humbled, and this massively opened up by Liverpool and Arne Slot, where I did say in the preview that it would be a completely different Liverpool under what it was under Jurgen Klopp, but Arne Slot has got a complete identity on the style of play with Liverpool players already, and I think he's a manager who is going to take no tolerance of bullshit. He isn't going to take no excuses, and a manager who's got completely outclassed Erik ten Hag, where, Erik ten Hag's job was saved by the skin of his teeth last season by winning that FA Cup final, which kept Erik ten Hag in the job as Manchester United manager. But I think Ineos are now looking at this as a big, massive regret with this humbling defeat by Liverpool today, where I didn't expect to lose 3-0. I would have taken a point in this important stage of the new season, but we are in exactly the same position we were in last season. 3 points from 9 at the start of the new season. Manchester United already on a minus goal difference, and we're only 2 points above the current bottom 3 in the Premier League, where we are basically competing for mid-table football once again, where European football looks like a distant memory already. Man United's title challenge is up in smoke already, and any reassurance that Manchester United will be turning this around under this current state of Erik ten Hag, it simply isn't going to happen. And I think Ineos have got to make a big, big decision in the next few weeks as Manchester United's owners in this international break, which, again, is a pointless international break. It's completely useless to be playing international football after having the Euros and having already, played 3 Premier League games this season. We're all going already on another pointless international break where we've got to watch B-Tech, Lee Carsley and ex-Birmingham City reject go on and take the England job under Southgate as interim manager, where we are playing B-Tech teams like Finland and Ireland, which are completely and utterly pointless. But that international break is going to be a long, long one for Manchester United fans, where it's a disaster, isn't it? Like, everything went wrong where it went wrong. And I think Ineos and ten Hag have got to have a hard, long look at this, because it's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. And it goes to show the mess we are in isn't acceptable. And I didn't expect to start the season like this. There was plenty of optimism. There was plenty of hope. There was plenty of belief, and there was plenty of promise that this would be a completely different Manchester United to where it was last season. And we haven't changed. Things have got even worse from last season. And I thought we would turn a corner. I thought the football would be better. I thought there would be an identity on the pitch. I thought we'd have the players we've got now to be able to take it to the next level. But unfortunately, the mess we're in is a mess of Erik ten Hag's fault. I think today he has completely shown that he has clear favouritism amongst certain players in that dressing room. He clearly has his favourites. He loves certain players in that Man United dressing room. And the more this favouritism goes on, the more these players will be starting games in a Manchester United shirt under Erik ten Hag. And I think, the substitution of Garnacho for Ahmad said it all today. I think that was one of the telltale signs that this manager has absolutely lost the plot. I think this manager is absolutely clueless. Like, I couldn't understand that substitution. And you could tell by the fans and the supporters' reactions of all the boos around all 4 stands of Old Trafford. That was not a popular decision, and it did not go down well with the fans and the supporters today. And it's Erik ten Hag's own fault. I mean, it's a shocking decision. It's a completely useless tactical decision, especially where Garnacho is being outplayed. I mean, Garnacho is not a right winger and is still being deployed on the right wing. And it makes no sense to me. It doesn't make sense to any other Manchester United fan. And it makes no other sense to other United supporters. I don't know why we are still deploying certain players out of position where that is going to affect their morale going forward as a team, and it's going to affect their performance on the pitch. And Manchester United are expecting just to get by again. And I don't think getting by is good enough. I think Ineos, all this hype around a good transfer window has gone up in smoke, especially where certain aspects of this team were not improved in the summer. And it looks like we are coming on to massively, massively regret the decisions that have been made in the summer. Erik ten Hag wasn't backed as manager. We didn't have a good transfer window, and not enough players were shown the door, and not enough players were brought in. And the mess we are now in is a telltale sign of our league position. We are 2 points above the bottom three. We're on a minus goal difference, and United are currently 14th in the Premier League table, which isn't good enough. It really, really isn't acceptable, and there's no place to hide from the players. I think they've got to take a massive, massive chunk of responsibility for that humiliation today. I think Erik ten Hag is mainly to blame for today's result. I think you could tell there is no midfield, there's no attack, and that back four, which was a big, big weakness for Manchester United this season and last season, is still a weakness. It hasn't been improved enough. It hasn't been shown that the quality is there to be able to keep the opposition out. The back four are massively, massively wide open, and we've all been calling DALOT and Martinez to be starting together instead of MAGUIRE at centre-back with Johnny Evans and DALOT and Martinez at left-back. I honestly thought that this DALOT and Martinez combination, this partnership, was meant to be the integral part of keeping the opposition out. But I think the second goal told a lot from my point of view. I could not believe how wide open and how much space was left and how much gap there was between Martinez and DALOT for the second Luis Diaz goal. I could not believe the amount of space they left. But a goalkeeper with the caliber of Onana, which he was meant to be this great goalkeeper, can't keep anything out, can't save any shots, and is conceding more goals than a sieve with completely leaking holes, which is never, ever going to work if you're trying to cook. But Man United are getting cooked on and off the pitch. And today was a sign of this is going to get worse. And I think if it carries on, a decision's got to be made, because if Erik ten Hag has got no balls or no guts to currently drop any of these first team bottle jobs, then where are we heading as a fan base? Where are we heading as supporters? And where is this football club realistically trying to get to? What is the optimistic level that this team is trying to achieve and trying to get to? Because at this current rate, the players who aren't stepping up are the usual old suspects, but they are getting more lifelines than a cat. And I can't understand why Erik ten Hag has got no balls to drop certain players out of this team and to dramatically change things up. But I don't think, in my view, Erik ten Hag, could have done a lot with the squad he had. I think if you look at the bench, where is the quality off the bench? Like, where is that quality to be able to bring on an impactful sub off the bench in the second half? Because when you are 2-0 down, what the fuck are you meant to do? What are you meant to try and achieve with those set of players, with the options off the bench that are completely lackluster of any type of quality? The only attacking option we had was Amad Diallo. That was the only realistic sub I thought could have been made in that second half. But I think the substitution came way too late. I think I could have changed the whole team if it was me. I could have changed that whole team, because the players clearly aren't stepping up to the plate, and I don't think they care. I've been saying that for ages. I've been saying that these players cannot be bothered. I've been saying for ages that these players can simply not be asked to try and step up to the plate and try and at least salvage some kind of second half comeback, because when you're 2-0 down, I thought the game was gone. I thought the game was completely lost, and there was no coming back from that. And I think the third goal in the end absolutely killed any chance of that happening. But I honestly thought we would try and at least go for it today and try and salvage something after what we saw against Brighton. But it's the same old shit. It's the same old excuses. It's the same old bollocks as last season. The amount of excuses that this team comes up with to try and salvage something is a disgrace. I think these players have got nowhere to hide tonight. It is on them. It is on Ten Hag. But I think Ineos have got to take a large proportion of the blame, because I thought we were meant to be seeing a new regime at this football club. There was meant to be a positive direction on the pitch, and I don't see where that positive direction is. I don't see any positivity. I don't see any Manchester United of new. I seen the same old Manchester United. We're not improving on the pitch, but off the pitch, things seem to be looking up. But what is going on the pitch? The team looks lost. The team looks like a team that is completely disconnected with each other. We've got a team of players that don't want to perform together. We've got players being put out of position that can't do the job. And we are playing players like, for example, Diego Dalot at left back, who can't do the job. We've got a centre-back partnership, which was meant to be the new thing, instead of having Maguire, Lindelof and Johnny Evans there. And the midfield battle, I mean, we know where the large proportion of blame is for today's midfield disgrace is CASEMIRO. Like, I can see why Erik Ten Hag was absolutely fuming that Scott McTominay was shown the door. And I've got to stand with Erik Ten Hag on that now, after what I've seen today from CASEMIRO and what I've seen from ERIKSEN and what I've seen from Toby Collier. Collier, I mean, was all right in the first 5 to 10 minutes. But what was the lad meant to do? He was only 18 years of age. What the fuck's he meant to do? Because he's been put in a position which is not comfortable for him. He's been put in an awkward position where, well, the game's gone. We aren't going to be able to salvage anything. And I think basically he's been told to go and put some type of cameo performance in the second half to try and rescue Manchester United. I think we are basically just trying to get by all the time. And it's not good enough. And M4ND0L0R14 has put in it, and he completely agrees. And I agree with you. Like, I feel really, really sorry for the lad, because I don't think Collier's ready, personally. But he's trying to salvage any chance of a Man United performance. You're not going to say no to it. You might as well come on and try and at least do something to try and impress the fans and supporters that you're the next thing to come out of the youth academy. But I think he was massively rushed into a position that the game was gone. What was he meant to do? What was he trying to achieve? Because the midfield battle is being lost every week because we haven't got no midfield. I mean, the rumour before the game was coming from the European lad that Christian Eriksen, after today's Liverpool-Manchester United game, is in talks with Ajax to try and get the move to the club, because Eriksen is no longer good enough for Man United's midfield to ever actually improve. And I think Eriksen does need to go. I think that second half cameo was a complete embarrassment. I didn't see the point. I did not see the point of that second half cameo from Christian Eriksen. I don't get why Ten Hag even made the substitution, because if the Eriksen rumours are true and he's on the way to Ajax, why the hell was he brought on? Because, again, played one bad pass to Amad Diallo on the right wing, who, again, was probably, in my view, was Manchester United's best player inside that second half. I thought, let's get Amad on. Amad should have been brought on in the first. Amad should have been starting today. I couldn't understand why Amad Diallo was dropped. I really, really don't get it. Like, he's our best attacking forward currently at this moment in time, because we've got no striker. We've only got ZIRKZEE. We've got no RASMUS because he is still injured. And we are basically not going to use Anthony. That was the telltale sign of that today. Again, came on with 5 minutes to go against Brighton. Unused substitute today. What's he still doing here? Has to be questioned. Why is Anthony still at this football club if Man United have got no plans to use him? And I don't think we should be using him anyway. I think it's just another player taking a wage and taking a living at this club, and is probably on a ridiculous wage at this club every week as a player, and he doesn't want to go, and he ain't going to be forced out unless a Saudi Arabian club actually come in for him and buy him. But we all know that ain't going to happen unless push comes to shove. We try and force him out. But again, if we sell any more players, with some European transfer windows still open and the Saudi Arabian transfer window still open as well, nothing is actually going to happen in these next few days. Nothing's going to happen. The only possible transfer to help improve that midfield is ADRIEN Rabiot. And if the rumours of true of Eriksen are going to go, then he needs to go by the end of tonight. And Ajax United need to get this deal done. And we try and we get Rabiot in on a free, because at least that will help kind of improve the midfield, with the midfield battle already dead is what it is. But again, at fault today for both the first two Liverpool goals is Casemiro. And I think Ineos have got to have a hard, long look at this. Erik ten Hag told Ineos in the summer, I want Casemiro gone. I want Eriksen gone. I want Hannibal Mabry gone. But I want to keep Scott McTominay. And I think I was questioning Erik ten Hag's press conference on Friday on transfer deadline day, saying he couldn't understand why Scott McTominay had been forced out. He couldn't understand why Scott McTominay had been sold. Again, I still disagree with him. McTominay was never going to be good enough to take us to this next level. But if he told the owners and he told Ineos, I want you to get rid of Hannibal Mabry, we get rid of Casemiro and we get rid of Eriksen, again, that is a failure on the manager, because Casemiro is at fault for both goals and the first two goals. He's at fault for both goals for giving the ball away, and Liverpool are absolutely on him and pouncing on him so quickly. And they're onto him. And Casemiro is a massive liability in that midfield. He's a massive liability. And Erik ten Hag decides, I'm going to drag him off inside the second half. And I think, again, that was the correct... I think that was the correct thing to do. I think that was the correct thing to do, because, you know, he is at fault for both goals. He gives the ball away, which leads Liverpool onto the counter-attack. Both goals happen from Casemiro mistakes. And I don't know why Casemiro has fallen off the way he has fallen off, but it's got to be looked at why Casemiro was not been sold, because he should not be starting games for Manchester United. But what is Erik ten Hag meant to do? He's got no current backup CDM. He's got no backup CDM. And unfortunately, he's got no choice but to start Casemiro, because the options on that bench, there's no backup CDM. All we've got is Eriksen, and all we've got is Collier. That is all we've got. And what I'm annoyed with, it took Manchester United till 9:30 on Friday fucking night to announce UGARTE. Manchester United knew they had to register UGARTE by 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon. What the hell happened on Wednesday? What the hell happened on Thursday? And what the fuck went wrong on Friday? Why couldn't we announce that transfer at 12 o'clock, where UGARTE could have played today? That midfield is crying out for UGARTE. It is crying out for him. That CDM role is crying for him. And I think if UGARTE is looking at this now, he is coming into a sinking ship, because he knows deep down that he's going to look at that performance and he's going to look at that result and he's going to look at him thinking, fuck me, why the hell have I come here for? Because look how bad we are. Look how bad that midfield is. And the midfield is also being affected further going forward, because Fernandes was absolutely useless today. MAINOO is having to carry Casemiro as well as trying to deploy his own game and own style onto the United midfield. And then you look at the attacking front three. Where is that front three gone? Where the fuck is that front three quality? Where's the striker? Where's the left winger? And where's the right winger who are deploying, again, a complete fucking lack of service to ZIRKZEE? All game long, all I saw was ZIRKZEE trying to get into the penalty area to try and get on the end of one or two decent crosses, but that about it was the service all game long. Garnacho, completely useless on the right wing. I don't get why Erik ten Hag doesn't put him on the left. And I don't get why Ahmad was dropped. The front three, again, needs to be more youthful. It needs to be more attacking, free-flowing football. And you'll get more chances with these younger players running at an aging back four of the opposition. And I think Erik ten Hag is shooting himself in his own foot here. Is he trying to get himself sacked? Is Ten Hag thinking, you took that long to keep me on, I'm going to screw you now and screw all of you, and you can sack me and give me a big fucking payout because it took you that long to keep me on as manager? That didn't help, by the way. That massively, massively didn't help, because we didn't get that announcement till the beginning of July that Ten Hag was being kept. That ain't good enough. That should have been announced quickly if we won the FA Cup or not. Why it had to wait till the beginning of July, I don't know. I do not know why it took the club that fucking long to announce are we keeping the manager or not, or are we bringing someone new in. I think Ineos are regretting this. But I think today, the midfield lost us the game again, because the team looked very balanced, except for the back four and, again, the front three. That midfield was balanced for once. You had CASEMIRO at CDM, Fernandes and MAINOO, the two centre attacking midfielders. But when MAINOO and Fernandes are having to do both their own jobs, as well as carry fucking CASEMIRO, who should be in a retirement home, that midfield will never get anywhere, because CASEMIRO is the big, big problem in this team. He shouldn't be starting games for Man United. UGARTE should have been registered on Thursday. I don't know why Man United had to drag it out and drag it out and drag it out for as long as they made it happen, because that is not acceptable. UGARTE should have been in this team today, and he should have been starting. It's no excuse from Ineos, and it's no excuse for Man United to wait and delay the announcement. They had to apparently wait for McTominay's transfer to Napoli to go through. Apparently, that was the fucking hold-up. But for me, that's a lie. That is a lie. UGARTE could have been announced on Wednesday. We got told from Fabrizio Romano it'll be announced on Thursday as a Man United player. Why did it take an extra fucking day and we had to wait till deadline day to announce his signing? We could have announced it at 10 o'clock in the morning and UGARTE would have played today. There is no excuse to hide away. UGARTE is essential to that midfield getting better going forward and being better defensively at CDM. But as long as you've got CASEMIRO playing, and as long as Erik ten Hag refuses to play him and keeps playing CASEMIRO, we are going to keep losing every fucking game because of the same problems. The midfield gets pounced on. Because if you look at Liverpool's midfield three, Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. What have we got? MAINOO, Fernandes, CASEMIRO. A younger midfield three, by the way. Just stating that. A younger midfield three. Man United are carrying people. Man United are carrying players on sentimental. That is why the problems are still here. It is sentimental FC all the time. And I've been saying it for weeks. The sentimental crap at this football club is a joke. All this, we have to be sentimental towards players. We're not going to force players out. We're not going to, if they refuse to leave, we're not going to force them out. I'm sorry to say that it should have been 15 players being sold and 10 being brought in. We basically brought in 5 because when we got told by Samuel Lutkers that Kone is going to be part of the first team plans, what a load of bollocks. What a complete and utter load of bollocks, because why is he not in the team today? Why is he not playing today then? If he's part of the first team plans, he should have been playing. That would have been better than having Casemiro at CDM. That would have been 10 times better. But no, we are carrying Casemiro every fucking week, and it is boring me to death. But it's not just Casemiro. It's players like Marcus Rashford. And you can tell by the frustration of the supporters today, we've had enough. We've absolutely had it up to fucking here with the problems on the pitch at Manchester United, because we don't learn. We never learn from the same mistakes. Why has Ten Hag got no balls to drop him? Is there a clause in Marcus Rashford's contract that he's got to play every game? Because based on that, I had enough against Brighton and I had it enough against Fulham. But again today, it's the same old fucking Marcus Rashford. It's the same old Rashford. Every fucking week, it is the same style of play. It's the same lazy attitude. It's the same fucking, I'm going to take on every player going that I ran at. Like, that's not going to work. And the problem is, if he's got no balls to drop Rashford, how's Garnacho going to get any game time? He won't. And what annoys me is, right, we were looking at Raheem Sterling in the Jadon Sancho swap deal. And as Man United fans, begging Man United not to do it. Don't sell Jadon Sancho to Chelsea unless there's a swap deal included. But Man United fans are complaining, don't do a swap deal. Don't do a swap deal. Don't do a swap deal. We don't want Sterling. We don't want him. He ain't good enough. We shouldn't be going down that route again. We don't want Sterling. I would have fucking taken Sterling over starting Marcus Rashford today. We could have done with Sterling's quality in that United team inside that front three, because Rashford was fucking useless all game long. Offered nothing. He's lazy. His attitude stinks. He doesn't track back. He sulks when he loses the ball. He flaps his arms about like a fucking like an aeroplane. Think he's Jeremy the jet plane. I'm sick of it. If Ten Hag needs to realise, if you don't change this up, Erik, you might as well sack yourself, because you're not changing things up. There's no identity. There's no style of play. And when the midfield gets walked through, the back four get affected. And when the midfield's weak, the front three get no service. And when the front two wingers aren't providing anything for the striker, how are we meant to score any fucking goals? And again, I'm not blaming ZIRKZEE, but the two chances he should have took, he should be fucking burying those two chances he had on the Liverpool goal. There's no excuses not to actually start ZIRKZEE, which was the correct thing to do. We've been calling it for weeks that ZIRKZEE should be starting for Manchester United, because he's the only striker we've got. And that is going to be like that for the next 2 weeks still. Even though we're not playing any football, we're on international break. All we've got is ZIRKZEE, because RASMUS is still injured. So we're going to be seeing ZIRKZEE start a lot more games for United because we've got no HOJLUND. I don't think people realise that. We're having to use ZIRKZEE because HOJLUND is still injured. And again, I think that's on Manchester United. I think they should have done the swap deal now. Send Sancho to Chelsea and we get Raheem Sterling. Sterling would have been a lot more clinical and a lot more attacking, approachful than having fucking Rashford on the left. But again, that would have still affected Garnacho on the right, because Garnacho is not a right winger. It doesn't work. And I think if Ten Hag has got any balls after the international break, have a hard long look at these players and have a hard long look at your team. Because if this carries on, Garnacho will end up in a Real Madrid shirt in a few years. If Garnacho doesn't get the first team football he wants, and he doesn't get picked, and he's on the bench for the Southampton and the Crystal Palace game, we are fucked. We are basically fucked again. Because it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And people think, why should Rashford be dropped? Because he's not doing anything. 2 decent crosses all game, and that was it. What did he do to actually influence any attacking approach going forward to affect that Liverpool back four? All he did was take Trent on, and Trent had him in his pocket. It is unbelievable how frustrating it is to see Marcus Rashford produce the same old shit, average performances. There needs to be a reason why Rashford's playing. And if there is a clause in this contract, get that clause out. And if Ten Hag keeps fucking kissing Rashford's ass, fucking realise, Erik, this is not good enough going forward. Fucking change it up. Because if this doesn't change, we're not going to score any goals and we're going to provide the shit service we've been providing for weeks. This is why ZIRKZEE can't score, because the service is shit. This is why Garnacho, you see him getting frustrated. You can see his frustration on his body language and his facial expressions. He's not happy on that right wing. He's not fucking happy. We have risked 9 points. 9 fucking points. Because we haven't had players we wanted available to us. We're playing false nines every week. And we are still using players like Marcus Rashford and CASEMIRO. That is on the club, but it's also on the manager. They should have got UGARTE in the first month of the transfer window. They should have did the same with DALOT. They should have did the same with MAZRAOI. And they should have did it with ZIRKZEE. YORO is still injured. He's out for 3 fucking months, potentially till January. So forget seeing him to at least the end of the season, where we are still going to be clinically defensively fucked. Because I thought DALOT and Martinez was the answer. Why have they left that gap? Why have they left that space for Luis Diaz's second goal? Why has that gap been left? You don't leave a big fucking gap for Luis Diaz in front of goal. You need to be tight to your man. You need to be tight to the opposition player to prevent him from scoring the second goal. And again, ONANA should save it. I couldn't save that shot. I've played professional fucking football at a very high level. I've played professional football at a very fucking high level. You don't leave a dangerous player like Luis Diaz's quality in your parents' area unmarked and leave a big fucking wide-ass gap for him to have a free shot on goal. You hit that shot first time, that's going in. But ONANA should save that. The second goal is savable. The second goal is massively savable. But that was gone because the defence was too wide open from each other. The gap between DALOT and Martinez was huge. It was absolutely huge. Why that gap was left, I will actually never know why that gap has been left. But that was meant to be the saviour to our back four problems. The back four has got even weak because if you look at DALOT at left back, why did we sign no left back in this transfer window? Why did we sign no left back? Where is the left back signing? We were told by Romano and other journalists, United are looking for a left back. Where is the left back? Because DALOT looks absolutely atrocious at left back, and we're doing it every week. We're doing it every game. He is not a left back. He's a fucking right back. We are better without DALOT because all he does is hoofs it up long, and Liverpool are straight onto that ball being hoofed long, and they're straight onto it because they know if Man United are going to keep hoofing it long, we'll just defend it simply and we'll break on the counter-attack because the back four have left gaps. The midfield gets walked through because you've got CASEMIRO standing there like a statue. And then MAINOO and FERNANDES can't do anything because they're doing CASEMIRO's job as well as their own. But the left back should have been brought in. And people saying, don't go and get Reguilón. Don't go and get Hermoso on a free. Why? Come back to me and say why Reguilón wasn't brought back. He's better than Luke Shaw and he's better than MALACIA. Where are those two? Oh, yeah, they're both still injured, aren't they? They're both still fucking injured, aren't they? MALACIA won't play for this club again, nor will Luke Shaw. Why are they still here? Terminate their contract and kick them out the club. They shouldn't be here still. Why have they been given a lifeline? We are not playing the cube with Philip Schofield on ITV. We'll give you a lifeline. Like, I'm sorry. Kick these players out of this football club and make a statement of intent that we're not going to be messed around anymore. Because the only positive that comes out of today's game is the unveiling of UGARTE. And you can tell there's a player there waiting to get ready. There's a player there waiting to get into the action. There's a player there that we could have done with today. He's not available. We didn't register in time. What a brilliant idea that was. Like, that is clueless from Ineos. Oh, we've got to wait for McTominay's sale to go through so we have the money to sanction the UGARTE signing. What a load of bollocks. What an utter load of shit. We can't register him till McTominay's sale goes through to Napoli. Fuck off. Stop coming with excuses. UGARTE should have been brought in July. He should have been brought in at the end of soon as that transfer window opened, Man United should have been onto the transfer window like a rash. They should have been onto kicking players out of the club and bringing players in. We didn't have a proper pre-season. That is no excuse, by the way. Pre-season is not an excuse But these players don't want to do it. And if they can't produce the level that's needed, I don't see how we're going to turn this season around already. Like, I'm fearing playing these fucking new promoted clubs because they're going to look at Man United and it ain't going to be a challenge. They are going to see the vulnerability of that club already and look at the mess Ten Hag has got them in. And then you've got Liverpool fans fucking chanting, Ten Hag's at the wheel. Ten Hag's at the wheel. Fuck off. I don't care about your shitty chants and your shitty songs. Get some perspective. Did you win anything last season? You won the fucking Mickey Mouse Cup. Don't come back saying, Ten Hag's at the wheel. Fuck off. We know it's a mess. We know we're shit. Shut your mouth. We know you're winning. We know Arne Slot is apparently the new Klopp. Wait till you play Man City. Wait till you play Arsenal because you're going to get exposed. I'm telling you now. But they won't, because Arne Slot has gone into a team that has been left by Jurgen Klopp that is so good already. They've just added a few pieces here and there to make the team better. Players like Chiesa have been brought in. That adds to the quality. They may have brought this new backup goalkeeper in, but he's on loan at Valencia for the rest of the season. He probably won't get any first-team football because Alisson is still too good. But Liverpool have got strength in every single position. Man United are stuck with Eriksen, Casemiro, Anthony, Collier, Maguire, Lindelof, Evans, DALOT, Onana, Tom Heaton, Brandia. We don't have the quality. You look at the bench. What was Ten Hag meant to do? That's the only sympathy I've got. But it's the team selections again that are fucking frustrating me. If he's got no balls to change it, just resign and get the fuck out. Because the football's terrible. We are creating no attacking opportunities with one or two chances here and there. But the rest of the game, we are defending with our life because the counter-attacking team are fucking battering us. It is embarrassing, and they're saying, and there's Man United fans and supporters out there saying, "Get used to it. This is the new norm. Get used to it because this is Man United." No, we shouldn't get used to these batterings. We shouldn't get used to these hammerings by our rivals. This should be us doing it to them, and we can't do it because the tactics and the approach to the game are dreadful. Like, we were playing better football under Solskjaer. We were playing better football under Mourinho. Ten Hag is getting this so badly wrong. Last season has repeated itself. 1 win, 2 defeats. Wolves win, Tottenham defeat, Arsenal defeat. This season, Fulham win, Brighton defeat, Liverpool defeat. This season's gone. This season is gone. We are relying on the Europa League and the Cup. That is what's going to have to happen. We are relying on the Europa League and a Cup competition. That's our only hope. Because the rest of the season's gone. Ten Hag is a dead man walking out. If he's sat by Christmas, we need someone decent in. Don't give the job to Ruud till the end of the season because that ain't going to work. Because if you bring a new manager in, he ain't going to want any of them working under him. He's going to want his own team of specialists being brought in to work under him that can actually get some sense and some clear identity and get this team playing some fucking good football. Because we've got the players to do it. But something is clearly holding Man United Football Club back. Something's going on and we're not being told something. But what is going on is horrific. The situation we are in, we are fighting relegation. I don't think we're going to get relegated. But the more we step down that table and the more defeats we get, how the hell are we going to get this season turned around? Because something has got to give very, very quickly. Because this season could go into a downward spiral. We could go to a plane. We could turn into a plane that is fucking nosediving into the ocean. Because that is what it is. United are absolutely screwing themselves here with favouritism FC, and we have to pick certain players over because they're the face of the club. If Erik Ten Hag keeps selecting these players after international break, Ten Hag's got to go. I am Ten Hag out because this is not great. This is shit. And I don't know if it's going to change. What if Ten Hag doesn't want to change the team? What if UGARTE's on the bench and it's still CASEMIRO, MAINOO, FERNANDES? I mean, we've lost Mount to injury. So why Man United haven't looked at Rabiot is a mystery. Why have we not looked at this Rabiot deal? Why did we not look at Hermoso on loan? on a free. Why did we not do this swap deal with Jadon Sancho and we get Sterling? Because Sterling's better than Rashford. Sterling's better than Anthony. I would have added more attacking quality going forward into today's game. They should have said yes. And then Romano said they were offered the swap deal for Sterling. And Man United said, no, we had enough. Based on today, we are fucked. We have Ahmad. We basically have Ahmad. And if Garnacho puts a transfer request in the summer, please do it, mate, and go and rescue your career. Because you're not going to get selected and you're not going to get picked. I think Ten Hag is absolutely screwed Garnacho today. And you can see it. You can see the frustration in this performance is Garnacho is not comfortable on the right. He needs to be put on the left, and Rashford needs to be dropped out of the team completely or even sold. I mean, if this Saudi Arabian transfer window is still open, please someone put a bid in for Rashford and get him out this football club. Because I don't want Rashford FC anymore. And people can say you can't keep going on him. He's fucking shit. What's he doing for Man United making a difference? He's not. He's not making a difference. He's making things worse. And we're shooting ourselves in the foot for it. Today is on Ten Hag again, but it's also on Ineos. That team isn't good enough. And if they sell Eriksen to Ajax, we're still screwed because we've only got Casemiro and Collier because Mount's injured. McTominay's not here. Hannibal Mabry's not here. We've got Collier and Mount if they sell Eriksen. And I think they will. I think they will sell Eriksen. Because he ain't good enough. He did fuck all in that fucking cameo in the second half. That was stupid from Ten Hag. The substitutions have cost Ten Hag today. Rashford should have been subbed off and Ahmad brought on. Got Garnacho on the left, Ahmad on the right. It was the correct decision to sub fucking Casemiro off because Casemiro was fucking atrocious. And whatever happened in that dressing room half time, I bet Casemiro got an absolute fucking roasting. I bet Casemiro is sat in that dressing room thinking, do you know what? I should have gone. I should have been sold. I should have been got rid of. But apparently no Saudi Arabian club wanted him. You can see why. Casemiro's done. At the highest level, Casemiro's finished. There's no rescue plan now. There's no rescue plan. Casemiro is only going to decline even worse. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And then it's going to get even worse. Casemiro is done. I'm sorry to say, it was good for one season, but 2 seasons after that, bloody hell, the fall off is incredible. The fall off is absolutely fucking incredible. But again, it's on Man United for not selling him. And Eriksen. I'm glad they got rid of McTominay. I'm glad they got rid of Hannibal Mabry. But Eriksen and Casemiro should have been following out the door. We should have brought UGARTE, which we did. Amrabat should have been brought back. Why we didn't do that and start him today? And he's at fucking Fenerbahce under fucking Mourinho, funny enough. Rabiot needs to be brought in if they sell Eriksen, because we are then going to be officially done, because we've then got no midfield options. People need to realise if we get rid of sell Eriksen to Ajax, I would take 3 million for Eriksen. Fuck the 5 million value. I would take 3 million. I actually would, because it's pure profit. And it removes Eriksen's wage off the club. And then go and get Rabiot, who is sat there on a free. I'm not saying Rabiot is going to come work miracles on this midfield, but it'd be better than having Collier, who ain't ready. It'd be better than having Mount. It'd be better than having Eriksen. McTominay, Hannibal, obviously they're not here, but he's still better than all those 5 put together. Rabiot would do a job for us, but no, we're not giving in. We're not going to give him a silly signing on fee. We're not going to give him a ridiculous wage. We need a Rabiot with UGARTE, MAINOO and Fernandes. And then keep Casemiro as the backup, but Casemiro won't play. I think after today, Casemiro will no longer get selected. And good on it, because it's been seen today that it's been useless. It's been crap. It's been a joke. It's been pointless. And again, it's all on them today. Ten Hag, Ineos and Casemiro are all at fault for today's defeat. Both goals are on Casemiro. The substitutions by Ten Hag again to take Garnacho off for Ahmad. I mean, to bring DALOT off just because he was on a yellow card and then bring on Maguire. What is the thinking there? You're bringing off DALOT just because he's on a yellow card to bring on Maguire. I mean, fucking hell. What are we doing? Everything is getting questionable now, because I think Ten Hag has lost the plot. I think Ten Hag has got to go. I am Ten Hag out, I'm afraid, because this isn't acceptable. This is a disgrace. It's an absolute fucking shambles for Manchester United, and they should be ashamed. Everybody connected to that club. People need to kick up the backside because this is shit, isn't it? And it ain't going to get any worse. And if we're going to give anyone player of the match, I can't give it to those players. I have to give it to the fans. I have to give it to the supporters because we're the only ones trying. We're the only one putting the effort in. We're the only one being there for the team through the ups and downs. We're the only ones trying to get that team to perform better and play as a unit. But they can't do it. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about the supporters. And Man United aren't fighting. United's fight's gone. After 3 games, the Premier League season's over. Our best hope is winning the Europa League and maybe winning the Mickey Mouse Cup. That's all we can do. I think we're going to have to fight for the Cups and fight for the Europa League because the Premier League's gone. The Premier League season's done. So, yeah, I think I applaud every fan and supporter that went to watch that bag of shit today. And we all know the players at fault. We know Ten Hag's at fault, but Ineos are also very questionable on their transfer window policy through all this PSR bullcrap, all this financial fair play bullshit, and all this sell to buy excuses as well. Those 3 excuses have cost Man United this season already. I'm only into the 3rd game in of the new Premier League season, but it is what it is, I suppose. So I hope you've enjoyed this live reaction. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always remember notification bell. Please put the bell on at all times to receive, upcoming dedicated content right throughout the rest of this year. We've got brand new games coming, brand new gaming content, brand new videos, shorts, live streams. And again, we haven't got to talk about Man United for the next 2 weeks because we're on a pointless international break. That's all I can say. We're on a pointless international break. I mean, what could get worse? What could get worse? We're on a 2-week international break watching England under fucking Lee Carsley. I mean, I would rather watch Art Attack than fucking watch England because, yeah, it's just not great, is it? But at least we ain't got to talk about United. So enjoy your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, be nice, and be kind to each other. But what a disaster again. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. Premier League season up in smoke already.